What is up everyone, Nayflar here and welcome to the top 5 mods of the month for Skyrim on PS4. Last week we did Fallout, now it's Skyrim's turn. In this video we are going to have a look at the 5 best mods for Skyrim on PS4 that were created in May. If you want to keep up to date with this series and be notified when a new episode releases, make sure you hit subscribe and click the notifications bell button also to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Now let's get started with the top 5. Up first at number 5 we have Oceanic Waves by Alan. This mod, simply put, adds thousands of waves to Skyrim, making the oceans feel more alive and more interesting to look at. Never again will you be disappointed when you look out to see Skyrim seas and see nothing but flat water. Now you can grab your surfboard and hit some rad barrels, dude. That's it really, there's not really much more I can say about it. At numero 4 we have the Daedric Warrior follower by Imperial Agent 1992. This mod does exactly what it says on the tin. It adds a brand new follower in the shape of a Daedric Warrior. The Daedric Warrior is fully kitted out with full Daedric armour, sword and bow, and even uses the Drain Vitality and Dragon Breath shouts. She will level up with you all the way up to level 300, however she starts at level 80, which makes her pretty overpowered. Pair that with the fact that she can spawn a Dremora Lord and you've got yourself one powerful ally. If you're around level 30 like I was when recording this gameplay, you may as well just keep your weapons sheathed and let your 2 Dremora Guardians do all the work for you. Daedric armour is easily the best looking armour in the game, and thanks to no external assets on PS4 that's not going to change. If you're a Daedric worshipper or just like the armour, give this mod a try. Up at number 3 is Harmitsumph by Hain Projects. This mod adds a wonderful new player home to your game that can be found built into the side of a mountain near Hilgrin's tomb on the way to Ivarstead near the top of a steep mountain path. When I loaded into Harmitsumph, I was blown away by how amazing it looks. This is exactly the kind of place that would come into your mind if you were asked to imagine an old hermit wizard's house in a fantasy world. The lighting and deers roaming around create a magical atmosphere, and the house itself is crammed full of character and all the standard items you would expect in a player home, such as storage, a bed, an alchemy station and an enchanting station. There is also a separate forge area next to the house for crafting and improving your weapons and armour. This is a lovingly crafted and fantastic looking player home that I will definitely use for any future mage playthroughs. If you play as a mage and you're getting bored of Breeze Home, you should 100% download this mod. The penultimate mod on this top 5 list is Elemental Archery by Wildsong. This mod adds 8 new elemental themed bound bows to Skyrim. Each bow has a different damage type and effect, although unfortunately due to Sony's restrictions, this version does not have any unique textures. The 8 different types of bow are the Fire Bow, which deals fire damage and staggers foes temporarily. There is also an explosive version of this bow that does some area of effect damage. Then you have the Ice Bow, which deals frost damage and slows foes temporarily. And again there is also an explosive version of this bow that does area of effect damage. The Shock Bow deals shock damage and paralyzes foes temporarily. And again there is an explosive version. The Sun Bow is a slightly more powerful elemental bow, which is basically a cross between Dawnbreaker and Auriel's bow, and can burst for some area of effect sun damage. The Shadow Bow is another slightly more powerful bow, which is basically a cross between the Ebony Blade and Mehrunes Razor. Instead of an explosive ability, this bow has the added effect of poisoning targets, similar to Mora's Agony. It also adds a spell tome that allows you to get the Mystic Binding perk without having to use perk points or level in Conjuration. The Mystic Binding perk simply makes bound weapons do more damage. The Fire, Ice and Shock bows can be found in Feglow Keep in the Caller's Room, which I was not able to get to because if you have not started the Hitting the Books quest as part of the Mages Guild, the path to the Caller's Room will be blocked off. The explosive versions of the bows can be found in the Labyrinthian, in the room with the troll. Again, I couldn't access this because you can only get there through the late Mages Guild quest, Staff of Magnus. The Sunbow can be found in the Kilcreath Ruins, which is part of the quest for the Dawnbreaker, in the same area as Malkoran. You will need to find Meridia's Beacon and follow the Break of Dawn quest to get this version of the bow. The Shadowbow can be found in Erkenthund, which can only be accessed during a late Thieves Guild quest called Blindsighted, and the Enhanced Mystic Binding spell can be found in Broken Tower Redout, which thankfully isn't locked to a certain quest. All of the spells can be found inside of a small Dwemer chest at each location. For those of you who have a lot of gold and don't want to bother going through all of those quests to get the spell tomes, the mod author has added the spells to 3 specific vendors in the game, but they are not cheap. Farengar in Dragon's Reach has the Fire Shock and Ice Bows and the Enhanced Mystic Binding spell. Willandria in Mistval Keep has the explosive versions of the bows, and Sybil Stentor at the Blue Palace has the Sun and Shadow bows. This mod gives the bound bow more variety and more of a magical feel rather than just conjuring a basic bow. The bound bow is easily one of my favourite weapons to use in Skyrim, and it goes incredibly well with a sneaky illusion mage assassin archer. I would 100% give this mod a try. In prime position at number 1 we have Eternal Armour of Titan by Wally217. The mod description reads, "This mod contains a set of heavy armour imbued with the power of Titan, a powerful being with a scattering of followers across Tamriel. Long ago, Titan crafted the armour as a gift for his greatest champion. Although the set now lies amongst the north of Tamriel, several powerful beings have long searched for the pieces of armour, including Samael the Impaler and the Great Mage Kuramir. Each armour piece has a chance to save the user from death, which when combined gives the wearer Knight Invincibility. The pieces will also buff the wearer's abilities and insight. The set is in the Nordic carved style, but weighs significantly less. The armour consists of a helmet/crown, cuirass, gauntlets, boots and shield. The crown can be found at the very highest point in Skyrim, sitting on the top of the throat of the world. It's basically just a jagged crown with a new enchantment, which is great because you can't keep the jagged crown, which is a shame because it looks awesome. The enchantments give you a chance to avoid death, plus 20 speechcraft, the ability to swim underwater without drowning, reading skill books now gives you an extra skill point, and it allows you to choose a second standing stone, and it even may summon ancient warriors to help you out and encase you in a cloak of wind. To get the Curious, you need to go to the Hall of Valor in Sovngarde. Now don't worry if you've already been to Sovngarde, so have no way of going back. You can just download a mod that adds a door to Dragon's Reach and takes you to Sovngarde. The enchantments increase the damage of the Unrelenting Force Shout and adds the chance to disintegrate your enemies. You stagger 25% less and enemies stagger 25% more. Time between shouts is reduced by 20%, health regenerates 100% faster, you have the chance to avoid death, and when in need it will rain fire on your enemies. The gauntlets need to be looted from Samael the Impaler, who can be found between the Shrine of Boethia and Nazalba, just east of Windhelm. This boss fight is extremely difficult and is designed for characters post level 81, therefore it is recommended that you find at least one piece of the armour before attempting to kill Samael. The enchantments of the gauntlets give you a chance to avoid death. Bows do 20% more damage, one-handed attacks do 20% more damage, two-handed attacks do 20% more damage, unarmed strikes do 40 additional damage, Magicka regenerates 100% faster, and when in need they will spawn a dark creature to drain the life of your foes. The boots can be found just inside Dawnstar, where the Khajiit traders usually are. The enchantments give you a chance to avoid death. Sneaking is 20% better, wearer is muffled and moves silently, stamina regenerates 100% faster, they allow you to walk on water, take no fall damage, and when in need it channels the power of cold. And finally you have the shield, which should be found on a mage called Kuramir at the shrine near Brood Cavern outside Morthal. However, I experienced a bug where Kuramir didn't spawn, and after looking at the comments of the mod page on Bethesda.net, it seems that a lot of people are having the same issue as me. The mod author also mentioned in a comment that as this mod is part of a submission for a academic module, he is not going to update it until after the marks are released. However, he will continue to flesh out the mod shortly after. This means I wasn't able to get a detailed look at the enchantments of the shield. However, the mod description says, the protection of Titan will absorb damage that can be unleashed back onto your opponents. When in need, it allows the user to harness the power of lightning. That sounds really cool, so it's a shame I wasn't able to get the shield. Despite the disappointment of the shield, this is a brilliant mod that gives you an extremely powerful armor set in the style of some of the best looking armor in the game. If you want to feel like a truly powerful Dragonborn whilst playing Skyrim, using this armor is probably the best way to do it. That will take us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it or found it helpful in some way. If you did, please leave a like, click subscribe and hit the notifications bell button to see more videos like this in the future. I'll see you in the next one.